everyone, I am Nikki Ang, and I'm going to talk for today is about combinatorics. I choose this topic because I find it more interesting. So what is combinatorics? So combinatorics is a branch of mathematics dealing with combination of objects belonging to a finite set. So if we said finite set, it is sets having a countable number of elements. It is something that has a limit. So combinatorics is concerned about the selection, the arrangement, and the operation. So, combinatorics has a subfields. First is the enumerative combinatorics. So if we say enumerative combinatorics, it concentrates on counting the number of certain combinatorial objects. So which counting the number of elements in a set is a mathematical problem. So what is the basic problem of enumerative combinatorics? The basic sample is Fibonacci. Fibonacci is a form of sequence. So it is denoted of, and it starts with 0, 0, and 1. So it is said that each number is the sum of preceding ones. So for example, you already have 1. So 1 plus 1 equals 2. So 1 plus 2, the answer is 3. 2 plus 3 equals 5. So that will be the sequence. And that is called the Fibonacci sequence. Next is what we call 12-fold way. So what is 12-fold way? So 12-fold way is it provides a unified framework for counting permutations, combinations, and partitions. So first is permutations. Okay, if we say permutations, it is the arrangement of its members into sequence. It is rearranging of its element. So for example is analog. Okay, analog is a word formed by rearranging letters. So for example, the word dad, it is already arranged. So analog is reforming and rearranging it to make another word. From dad, we can make it add. So that is the example of permutations, rearranging its element. Second is the sample of permutations without repetitions. So what is the example of permutations without repetitions? It is the factorial operations. So if we say factorial operations, it is countings of possible distinct sequence. So for example, factorial of 3. So what we have is 3 times 2 times 1. So that will be 3 times 2, 6 times 1 equals 6. So that is what we call the factorial operations. Then next is about combinations. So what is combinations? So combination, so there is a difference between permutations and combinations. Combinations is a selection of items from a set with distinct members where the order of selection doesn't matter. So for example, in playing a poker, it has a 5 combination. For every player, they have the set of 5 cards. And in a 52 cards, the selection, it doesn't matter. So, we can denote the combinations for N, choose K. So, N is where we have the 52 deck of cards. Then 5 is the 5 set of cards. So what we need to do is factorial of 52 and factorial of 5. So this is the simplest way to solve it. 52 times 51 times 50 times 49 times 48. Next is the 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we can, 52 times 51, 2,652, times 50, 132,600, times 49, 6,497,400, times 48 is 311,875,200 over 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, 120. So we need to divide 875 to 1 over divide 120 is equals to 598,960. So next is partition. So what is partition? Okay. Partition is a collection of non-empty subsets. So it is a collection of non-empty subsets, and each subset contains only element of a set. So partition is a grouping of element into non-empty subsets, and element is included in exactly one subset. So for example, we have a set of 1, 2, and 3. So it is said that it is collecting of a element in a subset. So we can call it a partition if it is like this. So it has a subset, and exactly the element is exactly from what is the set, what's inside the set. Next we can still the example of partition. It has the 1, 2, and 3 of the sets of the elements of this set. Next is so still we have the partition. It is exactly what they have in here. So next example. So for this, it is not example of partition because what is said to the rules is partition has is a non-empty subset. So since it has a empty subset, it is not partition. Next is the subset is containing 1, 2, and the next subset is 2 and 3. So it is not a partition because in what we said earlier, a partition is a element were included in exactly one subset. So since we have already 2 in the first subset, we cannot write again the same element. So it is not partition. Okay, so I hope you learned for me today, and that will be all. Thank you and stay safe.